We'll attach a spot. Have her take to the skies.
Hello.
That thing can actually
I'm just gonna be
fly?
showing you some
Not
places
yet,
where you
but
can
after some
find
upgrades, she will fly as freely as
find some mutants,
Finger crossed.
some mutators for the challenge. Mostly the combat challenge. You know, the combat challenge where you have to kill them before they mutate, essentially. There's obviously the places where you know they are, you know, the places where they'll be on the map. But there's also some other places where they usually can spawn. And I'll just be showing you where to go for those. They don't usually have a spawn right here, I'm pretty sure, in this map, But if you do go to I think it's this there's like a fuse, like a train car that you get in using a fuse, and it has traps in there. And once you get past the traps, there's actually a trap pointing at a mutant. So, and you can shoot or kill the mutant, and like not set off the trap and kill the mutant while it's in a dormant state. So that's an easy one to get, as long as you know how to jump over shotgun traps, that is. Okay. So you can go to Beverly Hills for the next one. It's right where the mutant spawn is, in, you know, Ricky's mansion. If you go up the stairs, they'll either it's in the upstairs room. It'll be either in like the guitar room, or in the bedroom, or in the bedroom's bathroom. It usually spawns there. That's a pretty good place to go. But there's also another place where it sometimes spawns that doesn't show you on the map. And once my game loads in there, I'll show you where that is. On the map at least. It's kind of like out of the way of the mansion, though, so it's kind of, if you're just doing mutants, it's kind of a pain in the ass to go for there, and it's not really near any other special spawns that you might be getting for other challenges. So, like, this is where it usually spawns, like over here on the top floor of this building. That's a mutator hotspot, so obviously it's, but like over here where the boomers, the burster spots, like in between these two buildings and kind of on this pathway, it has a chance to spawn right there as well. Like usually one spawns and you can get it there. And I think that's like those two places are where it spawns on this map. The next one on Harpen Hotel. It's pretty much exactly where it spawns, like on the map. It's like, but it's on the second floor. You go through the elevators, and you'll see it. It'll be in like the hallway. I don't really want to go there because it's gonna take a while to load. But like, so yeah, it's on there. It's not a good spawn. It rarely spawns on the Harpen Hotel. Like every time I go there, it's like happened like once or twice it spawned there. It's a really bad spawn. It barely ever spawns there. Another place it can go if you're like doing stuff at the Harpen Hotel map is in the parking lot, the open parking lot with the overturned bus. It has a chance to spawn in that area sometimes. But I barely did anything, so I did see it like there once or twice, and that I noted that. Second is Bel Air. Bel Air is also a good place to go whenever Mutator spawns. Because they'll spawn near the sewer, right? But there's also a chance that they'll spawn on the way to the sewer. Like, they'll spawn on that street you go down to get to the sewer. Like, there's a chance they'll spawn there. It's actually a pretty decent chance, too. And once you get in front of the sewer, like, I once got there, and there was, no joke, four of them were there, all huddled together. I took out my gun, shot, and I missed all four. And they all mutated, and I had to fight 4 of the fuckers. Oh my god, that was like brutal. So yeah, you'll see, they'll spawn on the street as you go down to that spot. And I haven't really checked on this area, because like, that's all you really need, is going down to this spot. Like, I don't want to go there now, because it'll take some time. But yeah, Bel Air is a great place to go for mutants. Monarch Studios, I've never bothered. I don't think I've ever seen a Mutator on Monarch Studios, so they don't even have a spawn there, and I don't think I've seen them wandering around either. And again, I don't usually go on that map. There's nothing like really too good on that map, I think. Oh, another good thing about Bel Air is like there's a decent amount of hive zombies, you know, the one that spawns bugs. They're kind of a hard challenge to get, because I haven't encountered too many of them, but they spawn a decent amount on that Bel Air, on the streets of Bel Air, so that's also a good place to get that challenge done. The Metroid, the Metroids, I haven't explored the Metroid. The Metroid and the sewers I haven't explored too much, so I'm not really too sure about mutants there. But like, you don't really need them for like, since you have all these other maps to go on. The pier, they don't have a spawn, but the Mutator does spawn on like a decent amount of times on the pier. I'm not on the fast travel map. I've done that way too many times. Where I open the map and I think I'm on the fast travel map. I keep clicking and like, why am I not fast traveling? But yeah, there's like one place where they usually spawn, which is good, because like a decent amount of other monsters spawn on the pier that you need for the challenges. The butchers, the vicious butchers, or whatever they're called, the bleed ones, and the electric sirens also spawn there. And they kind of spawn on the way to get to those creatures, the Mutator. So it's like a decent map to go to if you're trying to go through all the challenges. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get all the challenges done. Well, I did all the challenges. It's just like the co-op challenges, the like reviving survivors. But yeah, if you like go through here, like they usually spawn in this area, like right in the corner. Like usually one spawns here pretty regularly. Like I'll go through there and like 1 out of 3 chances it spawns there, and it's just like wandering around like in this area. And then you can like go in the arcade for the volcanic streamers, leave the arcade, try and hit up the butchers, and then just go back and see if it spawns again. It usually doesn't. Also, like the fire guys have a chance to spawn in this little area, in this little, near the sandcastle dragon, which is nice. Yeah. So you go there, you do that. Venice Beach. It's not a great place for mutators. They do have a chance that, from what I've seen, to spawn on the side street of the blue crab. Like if you leave the blue crab and then just head down the street, like they have a chance to spawn there. A couple of creatures actually have a chance to spawn that street. I've seen like crushers, I've seen like the slobbers. I've seen a couple of different creatures spawn on that street, which is pretty funny. Let's see, what maps do we have next? Cause I might Ocean Avenue, Brent Sewer. I'll go to Ocean Avenue first, and I'll show you where they have a chance to spawn there. Like there's usually, you know, obviously there's the place. There's the place where you first encounter the mutator in the lab. Like usually that place is kind of tricky though, because you have a chance to walk into like a lot of different types, like mostly Inferno Crushers. Like they'll come after you, they'll do their ground pound thing, and they have a chance to blow up some barrels and shit and make a lot of noise. And then when you get inside the room, they're already mutated, which is a pain in the ass. So I usually don't go all the way over there. Like if I was desperate at one point, because like once again I tried to go to the Bel Air, and like there was none there. I was like, but yeah, you go over here. I usually don't like, and when you do, usually only one spawns there, so it's not even like worth the trip. But yeah, one has a chance to spawn on this long street. I've had them spawn all the way at the end, and I've had them spawn all the way at the end over here. But they do have a chance to spawn there. It's not a good chance, but if you're doing stuff in that area, you know, it doesn't hurt to look. Yeah. And then I'll show you where Venice. Yeah. I'll show you like the street on the beach where they spawn. It's a super easy. You probably already know from my description, unless you don't. I'm sorry about that. I'm not really used to recording stuff. But you know, it took me like a decent while to do this challenge. So if you're looking for just easy spots to find them, like mostly because I fucked up, like I took like, oh, you gotta kill the mutators before they mutate, like a bit too seriously, and I was like going around with Penny, the rifle you get, you know, like this rifle, and I was shooting in the head and trying to one-shot them, but my aim's absolutely atrocious, so I would usually miss, and they would mutate, and I'd have to kill them that way. But it's just this street. It's a bit rare, you know, it doesn't usually happen, but it can. Let's see if we get lucky, right? Show you some little gameplay, because you're probably bored of hearing me talk if you haven't clicked off already. But yeah, see, a crusher, a butcher, like a decent amount of shit like spawns here, right? I'm just gonna do this. But yeah, if a mutator was here, he would have mutated. He would have, because he heard the gunshots. But if you don't need a gun. Like, pretty much after I did the challenge, I figured out you could just run up to them and just stab them in the face. That's pretty much what I found out. You don't need to one-shot them. You just not. You don't need. You just don't make loud noises. That's pretty much it. It's like you do that and then you're good to go. And that's it. That's all the places I've seen mutators, other than the spots they're usually supposed to spawn. And hopefully this video helps you out. Yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to turn off my recording software now. Oh yeah.